Jackie talking about my concealer routine now. I mean, does it really be creasing? Tell the truth. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So in today's video, we're gonna be recreating Jackie's concealer routine. And I know I did the foundation routine one already. I'll have that video linked down below. So if you guys have not watched that, I pretty much recreate her foundation routine, which is really, really fun, you guys. So when I saw that she uploaded this video, I was like, yes, I have to do this again. And I noticed in the video, she used, I think, a total of 3 different concealers. I'm gonna watch it again and you guys will see me follow along with her. And with my concealer routine, I only use 1 concealer. I think the most I've ever used is 2. So I am really, really, really interested to see how her concealer routine is going to look on me, like how it's gonna last. I'm actually filming this video very early in the morning because I want to do a full day wear test. So this time you guys will see how it looks on my face by the end of the day, if there's any creasing, if there's any, you know, separation or anything like that. So I'm really excited about this. And I'm also using some of the products that she used. Now, before we get into this, I know you don't have to use the same exact products, and I mentioned this in my other video, but the reason why I'm using some of the same products that she uses is because I kind of sort of want to get the same feel of, I don't know how to explain that, but I kind of sort of want to experience kind of sort of the same thing as she does. So some of the products are the same and then some of the products are not the same, but there are definitely cheaper options out there if you guys want to substitute those, or if you already have those cheaper options in your collection, you can definitely use those for this routine. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into her concealer routine and see how it works. All right,
it's so definitely for the person who likes
I'm gonna go ahead and
a lot of makeup for
this
a long
right here.
period.
This is, I forgot to tell you guys this in the beginning, but her concealer routine is definitely for someone who likes to wear a lot of makeup for a long time. So she did mention that, and I forgot to mention that too. But if you're into wearing a full face of makeup, and if you have a long day, like if you work an 8-hour shift, this will be a great routine for you guys. So let's go ahead and keep going. Oh, and right here she said that she already primed her skin, so her skin is already prepped, which mine is not. So I'm gonna go ahead and moisturize and prime first. I'm gonna take the Origins Gel Moisturizer, which is one of my favorites, and put it on. All right, so we are moisturized. Now it's time to prime. I always moisturize and then prime. Let me know if you guys just do primer and then do your makeup, or if you use a moisturizer and also primer. Let me know down below in the comments. So again, we're taking the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and we're just going to put this everywhere on the face. And while I let this sit, I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows. I always do brows before foundation, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows really quick just to let everything, you know, sit on the skin, and I'll be right back. All right, so we are done with my brows for now. I know they may look a little uneven, but once I'm done with my entire face, like as far as the base, I always go back and blend this part in, just kind of even them up, make them look a little bit better than what they are. So let's play the video back.
Skin prep that I really, really wanted to highly recommend using an eye balm. Now,
okay,
right here.
I never use eye balms. I never use eye creams. I don't even think I have, well, besides the one that I'm going to show you in a minute. But the one I'm talking about is by Elemis. And I don't even, is this even an eye cream? It says it's an anti-wrinkle day cream. So, I mean, I do have a little wrinkles under my eyes. So this is, it'll act as an eye cream. But it looks like she was using the one by Lancome.
This is the Lancome Visionaire IU. It is an under eye balm primer, something that you can use to just make the base for your under eye really smooth.
Yeah, so she used it to make the under eyes smooth and creamy, and I feel like this will do the same thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply this under the eyes.
Ring feels like, but I feel like if it was something, it'd feel like this. Even that was a lot. I just wanted to show you guys like what the texture looked like. It's really creamy, it's really bouncy.
And I think she's about to do her foundation. So she's about to get to the part where she went ahead and did her entire face. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
How's it going?
Okay, so I used the Too Faced let me pause it. I use the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Chai. So what's next?
Slightly darker under my eye and around.
All right, so she was saying that it's slightly darker under her eyes and also around her mouth. So she uses a corrector. I honestly and truly never use correctors. I just go straight in with foundation, concealer, and then my powders, and that be it. But hold on, let me see what else she says.
A little bit of correcting, not just one, not just two. You're gonna need 3 wide.
Yeah, so we're gonna go in with 3 concealers. So the one that she's taking, the one that I have that she has is the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin, and this one is in the shade SX14. So yeah, we're gonna use this as our corrector, and she was saying that this also helps with building that coverage up, because honestly, girl, this is thick. Like, this is really, really thick, and a little bit of this is going to go a very, very, very long way. So let's see how she applies this. So she's using a flat concealer brush, and this one is by Sigma. I don't know which one she was using. I just paused the video, but this one is by Sigma. This is the F70.
I start almost in my tear, like I'm basically in my tear duct, and I start applying that corrector shade. Do you guys remember the old school triangle? Dead, diminished. She's been fired,
Okay,
retired.
Do y'all remember the triangle? I don't do that anymore, but when I first started doing my makeup, especially here on YouTube, I would do the big triangle with my concealer, like boom, 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 triangle. I don't do that no more.
Starting around the outside without swiping. Oh man. Never swipe your concealer.
All right, and here she's blending it out with her beauty blender. I'm using this sponge by, whew, I gotta try not to drag it down because I don't think she dragged it down. Yeah, she just kept it right in here. But I got this sponge from Walgreens. It was like $2.99, very cheap, but it's good. So I'm gonna fast forward this a little bit. But she's showing 2 concealers that would be her highlight shades. So one is by NARS, which is in the shade Amande, and then she uses this Uoma Beauty concealer. I don't know what shade she's using, but the shade I use is T2, and I have used the mess out of this concealer. I'm actually scraping, like literally scraping the sides of this thing. I love it so much. So this is gonna be my highlighter shade. Let me fast forward to the part where she's actually applying it on her eyes. Yeah,
using the same brush, apply this right under my eye.
So she doesn't use the actual doe foot applicator to apply the concealer. She still uses her brush. Okay, I forgot that part when I watched the video earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and put some of this concealer on the back of my hand. I totally forgot that she used a brush with this part. So I am scraping, like you hear me, scraping. I need to get another one. I think I have another one, but we're just gonna put as much as I can on the back of my hand. Even though that looks like a lot, it's honestly not a lot. But she uses the same brush, so I'm gonna wipe off the Kevyn Aucoin concealer. Make sure most of that product is off. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of the Uoma concealer and let's see how she's applying it.
Again, starting right at that tear duct
right
and ending it at the eye. This time, I'm gonna drag it a little bit lower, a little bit lower. Now I'm doing the same thing on the my under eye dip. To all my fellow conehead sisters, 5-head gang, 5-head gang. Let's make sure we take care how we highlight. Okay, if this is important to you, honestly, I actually like the size of my forehead. It's Dennis that calls me Miss 5-head. I don't know why he be asking me that, because he's really a 6-head.
Wait. She applies her concealer like this on her forehead, and she does it because it makes it look a little bit wider, because her face, she mentioned that she has more of a narrow face. Now my face is not as narrow as hers, but I'm still going to apply it like this. And since my face is not as narrow as Jackie's, I still like to apply my concealer kind of down, like I kind of take it down a little bit more like this. But I mean, you can put your concealer on however you want. Like, you can do it how she's doing it, you can do it how I'm doing it, but pretty much this video is to go by the steps instead of like, ooh, excuse me, instead of like how which way she's putting. I don't know don't know what I'm talking about, but y'all get what I'm saying.
I hope you guys are following along so far. I know this is really complicated, but trust me, don't overthink it, don't overblend it, and don't over apply it. Okay. We good? We're on the same page? All right, let's keep going.
Okay, wait, pause. Looks like she already blended out her concealer on her chin and also her forehead. So I'm gonna go ahead and blend that part out. But yeah, if you keep your concealer on longer, like if you just don't go straight into blending it in once you apply it, it gives you more coverage. So I'm just gonna make sure that this part is blended out. And I think she blended her nose. Did she blend? No, she didn't blend her nose yet. So, all right, we're all caught up.
All you have to do is take like Fix Plus. Please don't use Matte
Fix Plus.
But you just basically want to like...
Okay, she was saying if you left your concealer on a little too long, then you'll take a little bit of Fix Plus and just kind of spray your face just to kind of revive everything. So, yes.
Got it? Okay, let's blend. So now I'm going to blend the concealer under my eye the exact same way I did the corrector, starting right at the edges. And
all right, so right here, she's taken another concealer. This is my Fenty Beauty concealer. And she's just applying it right here under her lip. And then she's taking another concealer. This one is by NARS. I think she said that one is in the shade Truffle, so that one's a little bit more orange. I don't have the NARS concealer, so I'm gonna be using the Makeup Obsession concealer in the shade 15. And I feel this one is definitely close to the shade that she's using. So it's a little bit close to that one. It does have that hint of orange to it. So she is taking that same brush that she used. I'm going to apply right under my eye. I'm not even going to go down very low. So she's taking it under her eyes like this, using the same brush. And she was saying if you don't want to look too orange or too crazy, you can go back into your highlighter shade. So the shade that I'm using for my highlighter was the Uoma concealer in the shade T2. So you can go back into your highlighter shade and also mix it in with the corrector shade, which is the one that I'm applying by Makeup Obsession. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and also kind of blend it in to the Makeup Obsession and just kind of tap it in. That.
And you know what? I feel like they're worn better when they're mixed together.
Right
the next thing you definitely...
I totally missed this step when I was watching the video before, but she added more concealer right
Overall finish of the makeup is blending your contour into your...
I honestly don't use cream products to contour or bronze. And right here, she's taking a concealer. Let me play it back. I don't think... Did she mention which one it was? I don't know, but it is a darker shade, so I'm gonna use this one by Clinique. This is the Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer in the shade Clove. So this one is definitely a little bit darker than my foundation shade, so I'm gonna use this as my contour shade. Place a couple of shades right here, and then around the forehead. I feel like this shade needs to be a little bit darker though, but it is okay. And I'm going to be taking my tapered highlighting brush from my brush set. I'll have it linked down below, but she's just taking it and applying it. Yeah, this color should have been darker, but I'll work with it with my powders later on. So around the outskirts of wherever you apply the concealer, just make sure you blend it like that. Oh, and she's getting the sides of her nose. Hold on, let me get the side of my nose. Let me pause like that. I need a smaller brush for this part. I'm just gonna take this little Anastasia double-sided brush and just blend out the side of my nose.
Makeup is, like I said, and I will keep saying this, makeup is finessery. It really is. And when your skin tone is uneven, like you just can't throw on one shade like the rest of the population can. Like I didn't add any more product, but I'm just going around the edge of my concealer and I'm blurring that line. I'm not, this is not me contouring my nose. I'm just blurring that line so that it doesn't look, do you see how this is stark here? We want it to look more like this, okay? Pat that towards the center.
And I think she already blended out her chin too, because it looks like it's blended out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and blend mine out. Do you guys notice that I did not blend the concealer on my lid because She obviously does not do that. In all of my tutorials, I always like to take the concealer and blend it on my eyelid, but it pretty much acts as an eyeshadow primer for me. But I'm not gonna do that in today's video. I'm just gonna keep it like this and see what's the next step.
This next step is highly optional and really just depends on how comfortable you are with this. And also tread very lightly. You don't need a ton of product to do this. And when I say a little bit, like, do you see, I know you see how Caucasian this shade is. Don't get extra, keep it cute, okay? This is also the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel. I also sometimes use the shade Sucre Dior. I forget what it's called. It's like Sucre something. I don't know. Very light. You don't need a lot of it, okay? But what you can do.
And it looks like she was mixing in caramel in her other concealer that she was using. So the Makeup Obsession concealer, and I have the NARS Caramel right here.
I'm gonna take a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this. I'm gonna apply that. That's it. That's literally it. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Now this right here, this is dried down for quite a bit. I'm now gonna pack this in. I'm gonna start by going twice down and then around my eye, and that's pretty much.
Boom. Girl, this looks good.
Go back to my foundation and my contour brush. Just put a little bit on the back.
Okay, so she took her contour brush that she was using to contour and she put on a little bit of her foundation. So I'm gonna lightly tap this into the foundation. And she was applying it right here where the contour and the concealer meet. So just a little bit right here. Pretty much where you apply your foundation, your highlighter, and just tapping it right there in that area. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. So there's no lines or anything, like there's no choppiness or no lines. So that makes sense. Okay, so I think we're almost done. I think the next step is
one that matches
powder.
your skin tone, and then one that's lighter than your skin tone.
Pause.
I'm not a
pause. So we need to pull out 2 powders. I'm gonna be using my Thrive Cosmetics setting powder. This is the matte translucent, and she also mentioned, let me play it. Yeah, so she was saying that she doesn't really like to use yellow powders because this technique, the way she did it, she already used concealers that are, you know, a little bit yellow, a little bit golden. So you don't want to layer it on top with another yellow product. So yeah, I'm going to use translucent. I don't know which one she was using, but let me just keep playing it. Okay, so she's using Cashew from Fenty. I don't have that shade. But so I just decided to use the translucent by Thrive. And she's also using her Laura Mercier medium deep powder. Now, most of you guys know I decluttered this powder in my declutter video a while back, but they actually sent over, I had 2 of these. So the one that I had, I decluttered, and this is the one that I received from Laura Mercier. So this is, again, in the shade medium deep. I've never been a fan of using a loose powder that is pretty much my skin tone. I'd rather use a pressed one instead of a loose one, but I'm gonna do it for today's video. So she's looking, but I mean, I'll go ahead and do it for today's video. So she's taking her sponge and she dipped it into the Laura Mercier powder.
I prefer the black one for powder because it's a little bit more stiffer, and I feel like the black one, because of its thicker, more grittier texture, I feel like it picks up powder a lot better. I'm going lightly over my entire face, with this brown skin tone powder. I'm going to...
This is also different for me because I don't use a sponge to apply my setting powder like all over my face. I just use it to apply my under eye concealer, like to set my under eye concealer, but I don't use a sponge to apply setting powder for the entire face. I usually use a brush.
Take a little bit of that brown powder, starting at the corner of my nose. Starting at the corner of my nose, and I'm gonna go under my eye. And this is kind of like a primer for the next powder, if you will. Sometimes that first layer, maybe you didn't apply it on the best. This, because it's brown and it's your skin tone, kind of prevents any mishaps or mess ups. Doing this essentially kind of toned down all of those colors we used under our eyes, and now this looks a lot more like my face, right? This, in my opinion, is one of the best ways to prevent flashback, is going over the entire...
Okay, so she's taking her other powder using the same sponge, and we are going to go in with the lighter shade, kind of pat it on the back of her hand. And she's taking it under her eyes like this. All right, really looks like she's taking a Morphe brush, like and I don't have a clean Morphe brush in front of me, but I do have this one by Sonia Kashuk. This is the tapered blending brush. Let's see what she does here.
Take your setting spray. Don't spray the brush directly. If you spray the brush directly and get it too damp, you've already flopped. Spray the air and then bring the brush into it. And then you can just barely tap, 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 tap. When I tell you I'm hovering over the eye, I'm barely touching it. It is a very light and minimalistic movement. Also, if I still see a little bit of dippage, what I'll do is I'll take the powder and I'll apply it right above it. So right here is the under eye dip, right? Watch this. I'm applying the powder right above it, just barely, like, and then you can smooth it out. You can do one last pat in. Really make sure she's done. We're finally done.
Whew. Finally done, girl. Finally. Well, as far as like the concealer, powder, all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. Looks like she was taking her bronzers. Let me see. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face. I'll actually leave all of the products that I have on the face down below in the description. But just to let you guys know, the time is now 10:13 a.m. So we're gonna see how this is going to hold up. And I'll check back with you guys at the end of the day. So you got, well, kind of sort of towards the end of the day. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep my face on, but I still want to show you guys how everything is looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face and I'll be right back. Okay, girl, this is how everything is looking right now. Again, I will have all of the makeup deets down below if you guys are wondering what else I applied on the face. But I like how this looks. Like, I like how the under eyes are looking. They look very set. So I'm gonna see how this is going to hold up for the rest of the day. So again, like I said, it is pretty early in the morning. I think I told you guys it was like 10:13. Now it's like 10:30. But I'll check back so you guys can see how the concealer looks, how the face is gonna be looking, and all of that good stuff. So I'll see you guys later on. Okay, we are back and it is 5:57, so almost 6 o'clock. And while I was doing my little wear test, I went ahead and went to Ulta. So I was outside, I was in the heat. So I got my little Ulta bag right here. I do have an Ulta haul coming up, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But let's talk about this face. So I've had this face on for at least a little over 7 hours. And usually when I wear a full face of makeup, I'm not wearing it for that long because realistically, if I'm wearing a full entire beat, I'm either going out to dinner, going out to drinks, something like that, and that's not over 8 hours. So usually when I'm wearing makeup, if it is for at least 8 hours or more, it's a very light layer of makeup, unless I'm going to an event or something like that. But I think this looks so good. I know the foundation is definitely helping it because the Too Faced Born This Way foundation is good. But when I say everything is still in place, like my concealer looks so good. It looks like, it honestly looks like I just did my makeup. I know I'm getting a little oily right here. This is where I always get oily because I do have an oily T-zone. But I've actually worn other makeup where by this time I'm actually looking more oilier than I am right now. So I feel like my skin prep was on point. So the products that I used before applying the makeup and also the powders that I used, even though we used 2 different powders, I didn't put on a ton of, like, I didn't put on a lot of powder. And you guys know when I use powder, I go heavy with the powder. So I'm impressed, Jackie. Okay, I can dig this. I definitely can dig this. I know it was a little bit more steps than I usually do, but I can definitely dig this routine. Oh yeah, I'm very impressed. I see you, Jackie. You definitely did something here, and I am here for this concealer. Like, even though it's a lot of product, it still looks so good for this amount of time. So I'm here for it. let me know if you guys are going to be trying out this routine. I'm going to have her video down below if you guys want to check it out if you have not seen it, which I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that video. And also thank you to Jackie for mentioning me in that video at the very end. I honestly was not expecting that, so thank you, Jackie, for sharing my little face on your video. So yeah, I think that is all that I have for today. Again, let me know if you guys are going to be trying out this concealer routine. Let me know what your concealer routine is. Let me know what your go-to concealers are. Let's go ahead and chit chat about it down below in the comments. I am doing a giveaway on my channel for this whole year. So every single month I give away one box to one person, and it's super easy to enter the giveaway. All you have to do is make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you thumbs up the video, as well as leave a comment down below in the comment section. And I don't want the comments to be anything about the giveaway, so let's go ahead and talk about your favorite concealer, your concealer routine. Let's talk about that. So yes, I think that's all that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you thumbs it up. Make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed already, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.